Welcome Brawlers, I'm the Hermit and we are finally at release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And out of all the possible commanders, I think the ones I like the most are going to be in the hybrid pairs. And we want to start with what I think is going to be the strongest, and definitely one you want to look out if you ever go into later in the month in the Brawl metagame challenge. I think it's going to be free this time. So if you want to try a nice Boros Aggro deck, now that you can no longer play Tajik, maybe you will try Raph and Leo Sibling Rivals. For 1 and 2 hybrid Boros, we get a legendary 2/4 Mutant Ninja Turtle. Whenever they attack, if it's the first combat phase of this turn, untap 1 or 2 target attacking creatures, and then you get an extra combat. So what we want to do with this deck is have, well, either haste for Raph and Leo, or set up so that we can untap with them, attack and get extra combats. Obviously we want to benefit the most for cards that have combat triggers, and in the case of Reckless Stormseeker, he can both give haste and has a combat trigger. But then we also have others like Canning Pakal, Agent Bishop, Adeline. Well, with Anim and Adeline we get tokens whenever we attack. With Agent Bishop and even Luminacre Aspirant, if we get the 2 combats with Raph and Leo, then we also get to keep putting more and more counters on our stuff. Hopefully Leo and Raph, so that they can keep attacking without fear of being blocked. We also have a couple of mentor cards. Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice. It can also give Vigilance, which is also nice, that way you don't have to untap your creatures. And Nairo, Dragon of the West. This one, if we happen to curve Raph into Airo, then you just get Raph and Leo all the way to 4 for that turn. We don't have much to do with the Firebinding mana, but just growing our commander is good enough value. However, if we don't have the capacity to grow them, or we want not to, we can instead go for Delny. Creatures with power 2 or less can be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. But also, if an ability of a creature with power 2 or less triggers, it triggers 1 additional time. So even stuff like Reckless Stormseeker, it would trigger twice before it grows. Stuff like Bulwark Ox, and we are also trying a couple of new cards, obviously. We are going to try April O'Neil, can be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater, which is nice if we happen to also grow her, so it's gonna be either chump block or blocked by multiple creatures. Lita, Little Orphan Amphibian, as Alliance, we can either put a counter on her, create a food, or scry one, and we must choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. We also have Leader's Talent, essentially another aspirant, Luminarch aspirant, and we have Leonardo Leader in blue. It's just a nice 1-drop, but also we can sneak it later, get a buff on our entire team. Then at the top end we have Elspeth, Dollmaker Shop. If we attack enough times, we have enough creatures, everything becomes an XX. Or we have Glorybringer, we attack it, exert it, and if we have our commander, then untap it again, and attack again with it. So that's the deck. Now let's head into the queue, get some combats, and untap, get some even more combats. Terra, Reanimation Terra. Well, I guess some of the 5-color also got run Reanimation cards. But we have Ragavan turn 1, so... Oop, they remove it, which means we are going to be slowed down maybe not. April, we want one of these lands, but not the other. Opponent plays Inti. Should we attack with April? Maybe not. Opponent attacks with Inti, gets an Archon of Emiria. Oh, I guess we don't block then. They're gonna Swords Raph, I think. Oh, they can't. They don't have the mana. Let's Flame Slash then. Adeline. Attack twice. And that's good enough for our opponent. Yeah, I guess they were having mana issues, color issues. Needed to plan around that better. Maybe mulligan? We don't know why they kept that hand. Good games. Alright, against Ketramos. Can try this one. Yeah, the survivalist might not get as much value as it should. Or maybe it will. So next, we probably play Raph. Try to get to Ouroboros Forge with 2 counters. Opponent Griefs. They take the Forge. And they Cloud Shift to get the Grief again. They take our creature, so let's play Raph. And if they don't have any interaction, I guess, if they have another discard, they might take Agent Bishop. And regular removal will deal with Raph. Let's buff everyone, both our commander, and then on top of all of this. Parting Ghost, blinking their grief. And I guess they have a Wrath. Yeah. Okay. So we play Rahilda, and I think opponent is almost stabilized. Depends on what other cards they are running now. And they have their commander. I guess maybe we should have Get Lost and Rahilda. But we were not able to cast Teysa. Authority of the Consuls. Maybe we can win with this. Come and get it. So, seems like we can actually. So pump and pump here. Okay, I almost messed that one up. I needed to target Rahilda instead of the mouse. Because we got a mouse token that triggers authority of the consoles. But it was still just enough to beat our commander. Our opponent, I mean. Good games, good games. Who is that? From Dominaria? Okay, and... Oh, you get discount for a type. I kind of want to mulligan this, but I also kind of want to keep it. So will we draw a plains or a basic first? Type other than creature or land. And I guess it was a basic plains after all. What did they name? Artifact. Okay. So some sort of affinity deck from opponent. Fabrication from Foundry. Source to Plowshares. Should we hex them or Storm Seeker? Storm Seeker, I think. There is a Hydron Archive. And a Thoughtcast. So now they are at 9. And if they rat here, then we do play the Hex. Orsa from opponent. Okay. Guess here we exile Ursa. We will put the haste on Raph and Leo, I think. Oh, we can actually choose to. So let's do it twice. Yep, the construct cannot block our creatures. That's a one ring. Turn artifact, and they have nothing. I think this is the Hex turn. Actually, we cannot choose opponent, so. We needed to mount first. Opponent draws a couple more with the one ring. They are at 5, so they will go to 3 in their upkeep. Alright. Unfortunate. Ugin can give them more life.
I will not allow my progeny to continue their rampage.
Let's protect Delny, I guess.
Insight is vital.
Okay, and they got us. GG's. Yeah, if it wasn't for that Ugin, we would have won that one. I guess the One Ring helped them because we couldn't Maddening Hex. Maybe we should have Hex before? Hard to tell. Either way, well played, Sten. Giza the Hellraiser, that's gonna be challenging for us. Yeah, Inquisition, sure. We need to decide what we are going to do with our Cavern of Souls. Probably use it for the Goblin. Yeah, they should take Feliader. That's worth of 2 mana and 2 life. Warrior. It seems like they have Snuff Out, maybe? Fade out. Hit the cycle. Okay. Yeah, and this type of deck is our Achilles heel just because they have as much removal as humanly possible. Necro dominance. Yeah, we don't have that many plays, so if we don't draw something good here, we might rip apart the Necro. It's gonna be awful on us, but might be necessary. Okay, Gloria. And on top of playing all removal, control, heavy control, they also are a slow player, so kind of a personal nightmare for me. Yep. I guess we need to destroy the Ghost Vacuum. That way we guarantee they don't trigger their Giza right away. Here, destroy that. Get medallion from opponent. The Soul Stone. And they make us discard too. So I guess that will be the game, probably. We do the Solitude way because we don't want to give them counters on Turak. Also, Turak can essentially block Raph and Leo forever, so we are in trouble. Yeah, Selfless Spirit's not gonna be it. GG's. I guess we needed like a burn or something. Would have helped. Another control opponent. We are on the play though, so we can try to swing for defenses. Robert is going to get buffed. Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrel. Okay. We attack with just the aspirant because we have failure. Sinister Sabotage, Surveil 1. They keep it on top. So let's take it with the rover. Was a hydroponics architect. Grips for opponent. Aqueous Form, Mystic Confluence, Wash Away. Auto Tapper, of course. Guess we still have the Architect. Are you sure about that, opponent? Into the royal. No. We want to play Lita here. And the initiate. Ooh, opponent sacrifices Katara just to get a loot going. It does feel nice for us. Serum Snare, but yep, you essentially rebuild your hand, which means we get to swing for lethal. And it's not a bad place to beat Katara. I guess we were on the draw, on the play, which definitely adds to our advantage as an aggro deck. Otherwise, we might have suffered a little bit. Either ways, we take it. Good games. Opponent is also running some new commander. This one cheats creatures. Yeah, you just need to ramp, get creatures for free. Hopefully, well, if you are running Raph and Mikey, you probably run a decent amount of Eldrazi or otherwise big creatures. Lumbering World Wagon, just for more RAM. Potentially get to 7 mana, win the game. Both Raph and I guess our Aero is automatic here. And opponent is already at enough mana. If we Skyclave and take that, let's swing for fences here. And it's actually just lethal, right on schedule before our opponent got to untap and clear out something. I was curious what they were running, just because, well, this type of deck, Raph and Mikey, is probably at its best when you can cheer out Blightsteel Colossus with Infect, Indestructible and such. But since it's not an arena, your best options are Darksteel Colossus, also Indestructible but no Infect, and of course Eldrazi, Emrakul, the other Ulamog, Infinite Ceaseless Hunger, and maybe Infinite Gyre. Definitely not the other one. So yeah, curious. And I probably will make this one as well. This week or the next, probably. So, GG's. New Italy, I guess. The Necrobloom. Kind of a slow hand. Let's run this one instead. And I do love opening with Lita. She's really, really powerful. Probably the card that has impressed me the most, other than our commander, of course. And this is 2 power, so even it can block through Delny. Midnight Dealing, but only 1 land. I guess they will always only get 1 land. Oh. So we put a counter here. Attack. And that's a Swords to Plowshares. Let's hex our opponent, if that's good enough. Ooh, Thalian Gitrog monster. Yep, we are in trouble. We should scry one here. And with the Ox, we can now protect Lita if that's what we want. Binding the All Gods. Ooh, they take 5 from the Hex. They do destroy the Hex though. And they will, yeah, the worst part about this combo is they can destroy their tokens to get more Thalian Gitrog. And it seems they are going to get 7 different lands next turn. So an orb, but it goes away thanks to Boromir. Oops, indeed, opponent. Who are we playing here? I guess Delny. Yep, that's fine. But then it's just dredging away. Oh, Head Shredder, that's... Yep, they might have this one. Then it's going to be the Ring Bearer. We block here. Maybe if we get to... No, even if we get to 6 mana, this is going to be a little too late, I'm afraid. Just because of Head Shredder, I think. Okay, so we are going to get to 6 mana. Yeah, maybe we need removal for the Necrobloom, but even then they would still be able to replay it. Yeah, probably removal for Head Shredder might be our best shot. Yeah, and they have 2 blockers, so there's no way we can beat them. GG's. I guess we also had split up, so maybe that could have worked. Destroy all tapped creatures and all of that. But I didn't think about looking for it. Good games. Against Splinter and Ninjas, I guess. Okay, we can curse Splinter, I think. I don't think we want Hex. Thought is sure. I guess they take the curse. They take Lelia. And we name Splinter Radical Rat. We play our commander, and I guess next turn we can play Karisev. What do you have, opponent? Stormcode Kunoichi. And maybe we let the... Yeah, we'll let them keep it there. Decline. Let's trade. Or actually, maybe not. We take the damage. Because we can... training. Well, train I guess is the verb. what you have. Sure. At least it's a blocker. And unblockable for their ninjutsu / sneaking. And I guess even if we don't replay our commander, we have the monastery, so... Did they just shock? Okay. Caray. They might block Ragavan with Karai, so... But they still take a bunch of damage here. Let's pass, and we will use the monastery. They will return their Triton. And maybe ninjutsu something here. That one makes a clone, I think. Okay, yeah. And they have 2 more mana, so they can play 2 blockers for a total of 3. Let's just do this right away. You're end of your next turn. Guess kill this guy. Play the robber, and we got it, I think. I guess maybe not. They can block one of these. Yeah. They go to... I know it's... They should... Yeah, because this has menace, they cannot block it. Good games. So yeah. Yeah, we'll play Splinter. I guess they didn't have... Yeah, I'm not sure. The Naga is the best here. They did actually took our commander for the entire game, but they needed to think about blocking earlier, so... Oh, and I say they, but it seems our opponent was Amy Amazonian all along, so... Good games, I guess. Oh. We're going to take some damage to our lands, but we can Leonardo into Leader's Talent. An opponent takes the trade. I didn't expect that. So we need untap land here. Opponent is going to be at 6 mana. Okay, thank you. Carnage Tyrant. Oof. We attack here. This would become 5 toughness, 6, so not quite enough to survive. That is Italy, so let's surveil. Hopefully give them something less than ideal. And Impacable, that's actually a good card, so... Rover of the Rich actually might be better. Terror of the Pigs. No blocks. So now, showdown, I think. And we also kill. Yeah, we're in trouble actually. The fact that these are tramplers and 7 power means we need pretty much a miracle here. Which, yeah, I don't even know what it could be. Yeah, GG's. We could attack, they double block. Even though we untap and have another counter, we are not gonna be good enough, fast enough, aggro enough. Good game, Italy. And I guess Italy is still probably better than Raph and Mikey. But the potential for some precise cheatings might be better. Actually, we do. Yeah, I guess in this case we would also have lost to Raph and Mikey if they play more or less the same. And I guess in that case, this Paradise Druid might have been a regular ramp or a removal spell. Either way, good games. Ah. Okay, so Renan 6. And I guess we will lose one of our 1-drops. Yeah, -1 to deal 1 damage. Okay, at least we got to draw a card. Lotus Cobra from opponent. Yeah, they will get 4 mana on top of this. 6, I guess, with their lands. Oof. Major Molkup. And Esper Sentinel drew us a total of 2 cards. Not shabby, I guess. Ooh, but they didn't play another. They didn't get their land back, I mean. So that also means we have a chance to do some damage. So first, drop aside on the top. Actually, we should destroy the Cobra first. Now we chop aside on the cup. And a Torch of Defiance.
You and I are gonna take him out.
They killed the rover, that's fine.
This is a waste of my time.
Actually, let's... Yeah, I was thinking we would source this. It comes back, but it enters tapped, which means they don't have access to it. But it would be all the same. And on top of that, they have Spiteful Banditry. So here... let's play Raph and Leo. And next we can Hex. Bolt Tyrant. Yeah, that's a good one. And also a good target for swords, even though they get a bunch of life. Just the fact that... yeah, let's not take damage here. The fact that we exile it instead of destroying it means they don't get a copy for their Tyrant. And they concede to Raph and Leo. Good to know. Yeah, I guess the Hex was their nail in the coffin, but they probably should have a decent amount of artifact and enchantment destruction, so maybe early concede, but maybe right time so they can play another one, which we should do as well. GG's. Mardu partners. They might be aggressive enough to beat us. Okay, Esper Sentinel is a little annoying. But we can curb without it, without playing our Frosh. Is this a removal spell? I think so. Yeah, Dismember. Unfortunately, that means our next land is going to be untapped. It's going to be tapped, so... yeah. If we want to do this, we are going to give them another card, I think. So they either got a card from their commander or for the Sentinel. Either way, not good for us. And if they have a land here, they can play Bruce Darl, get double strike. But they don't. Instead, they play Screaming Nemesis, which suits us right for split up. Yeah, again, they draw a card. Yeah, we're in trouble, I would say. No lands, and them just having enough aggression. They also probably have a decent amount of removal. Okay. Yep, good games. We definitely needed to at least be able to play Aurelia, but even that wasn't a guarantee in case they did have some removal. GG's. Muldrosa. Solve the value pile. Guess we can start by killing their elves. Okay, they hit their land drops. I think we want to play. Actually, we could also play Inti, so next turn we marry Giver of Runes. Let's go for that. And this needs 3 or more. Okay, so maybe we wait. In case they want to get... They could get Lotus Field. That would make all 3 lands. So maybe they didn't think about it, but I definitely did. Okay, Thespian stage. Oh, either way, they already had one. So yeah, wise approach, not attacking there. King Closet, alright. Attack with... Actually, let's attack with bows. We draw first. Discard the land. If they use removal, we are okay with it. We just want to make sure they don't kill anything with the Reclaimer. Luminarch Aspirant. Protection from green, and thanks to trample. Because that, yeah, it doesn't do damage. I don't know why I say that. Here we go Aspirant and Conduit Goblin. And we pray for no rats. Actually, maybe it was better to play the Instructor in that case. So we could have the Goblin plus Raph and Leo. Okay, let's go Ninja. Counter here. It's here. Attack, attack. And it seems opponent might want to get their Dark Depths. Rotation, sure. Yeah, they were able to do it even if they didn't have crop rotation, so. Cards. Ophelia is a good one here. We will give Raph protection from black. Decline. Oh, actually we could have... yeah, I didn't think this one through. We could already play Felia, give it cased. With the Goblin, exile Marit Leish. So yeah, let's run Felia here. Short of our opponent having a Wrath, we are okay. Yeah, we were going to blink their token, and because it's a token, it doesn't come back. That's kind of the downside. There are exile base removal for cheap, as well as bounce. Maybe even flicker base removal for Marit Leish. But opponent did give them their best shot, so good games. So that's gonna be it for the Sibling / Hero rivalry. Although I guess since they are siblings, maybe it's best not to call it either rivalry. But either way, like I said, really good aggressive deck, and the fact that you get essentially the Fear of Missing Out trigger just for attacking, for untapping really with your commander is good enough value, and probably one of the resources if Brawl ever gets a competitive queue, and if there are better Boros commanders banned, then I would 100% expect to see Raph and Leo all around. I did have a couple of cards that I didn't quite like, namely Recruit Instructor, so you will not see it in the deck list probably, and maybe I will change one or two other cards in order to try a couple of other TMNT cards. I don't know which ones I had in mind. I looked at the ones from the Commander set, but the Raph was strong enough because we have counter synergies, but it's a mythic, and also the fact that it's 5 mana doesn't led me to trust it a lot. I did try it though, but like I said, in the games that I threw it, it didn't feel like it does enough. Yeah, 5 mana for a commander is kind of expensive, but you can see double all the damage that creatures with counters will deal. But when we are at 5, we're already putting enough pressure to our opponents that it's not really necessary. Also, if you want some card advantage, maybe you could even try Trouble in Pairs, which I don't think it's going to be good enough for Brawl. But also, if you are aggressive, maybe that's where you want to try it. So, who knows. Other than that, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see, well, for a couple of weeks we're gonna be trying more of the hybrid. Or if you want to leave a comment, with the commander you want to see me try. We could even build a couple of the partner pairs. Probably the cheap ones, definitely not one including Raph. So, I'm the Hermit, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.